So I just like to begin with appreciation and gratitude for the clarity of thought.
Let's just say appreciation, because you know what? Gratitude's laced with a little resistance.
Okay.
Can you feel the difference? Just for a moment?
Actually, I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't.
We're not trying to talk you into or out of anything. But usually when you're talking about gratitude, you're feeling grateful for the trouble that you've overcome, which means you've got the trouble activated. When you are appreciating, it's usually resistance free. Most people use the words interchangeably just because most people are not really thinking as much about vibration as they are about words. We're glad you are appreciating, and we're glad that you've overcome things that you're grateful about too, but we're more glad that you're appreciating.
I am appreciative of you, your teachings, the clarity that's come through your teachings.
Like just now. That's a leading edge thought worth thinking about. Yeah.
It's been years that I've been listening and learning, and it's certainly been a slow process sometimes of momentum, and there have been
a slow process, or it's been an unfolding process.
Unfolding.
That word feels a little better, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. We're just guiding you toward more satisfying words. And if you're sensitive to the words that you're offering and to what they really mean, then you'll clean up your vibration in no time. See what we're getting at?
Well, and I guess that's what I'd like to talk about.
We are nitpicking.
That's all right. Pick away. As that cleaning up of vibration.
Or just meditate, and that cleans it all up. Quiet your mind. And then the next day, there's less of that. And then the next day, there's less of that. Less resistance every day.
Recently. Previously, I would say I'd wake up in the morning and it would be, oh God, it's another day. And it wasn't with the intent of having a good day.
Yeah.
And I would walk into another bad day, or another day.
Another expected day. Another day that I vibrationally prepared myself to walk into. Another day that was just as I expected it to be, because a belief is just a thought that you continue to think. But when you cease thinking those thoughts, here's a way of looking at it. Pretend just for a moment, just briefly, just to make the point, that you're standing and walking forward, and with every breath out, you spew a sort of inky red mist out there that clouds your view, that kind of messes up the day. You just keep spewing it and walking into it and spewing it and walking into it and spewing it and walking into it. But if you stopped spewing it, it might be there for a day or two, but after a while, it wouldn't be there. And you're the only one that can spew the inky red mist for yourself. No one else is. Feels like they're all doing it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop spewing inky red mist in my experience.
I was pretty good at it.
Most are, because most are observing. Most are observing the very delicious contrast that gave birth to the new, but they keep focusing on what hasn't happened yet, which is what causes them to spew the dissatisfying red mist, the unsatisfying red mist, the sucky red mist.
So when I had a day where I didn't spew the red mist, it actually was a great day.
And really was beginning the momentum for more of them. But you're such an objective human, weighing the pros and the cons and the pluses and the minuses. You want to be accurate, yes? No. Don't keep active the things that are in your way. You come into this experience with high anticipation, but not much data of what you're going to do with the energy. So you begin your collecting of data process, and you do such a wonderful job of putting things into your vortex, of fashioning your own vortex. We really don't even need to talk about all of that. Let's just say you got here, you lived life, you made a vortex, and you don't know that it's there, and now you do. So now you want to focus in a way that all the good stuff that you've been asking for can begin to flow into your experience. It really is that simple. How do I do that? By being satisfied now. So I want this specific thing, Abraham. I want this specific thing that hasn't happened yet. So I accept that the creation is already done, and that my inner being has already attracted all of the cooperative components to it, and it is in the process of becoming. But I'm having a hard time, Abraham, feeling satisfied about this thing that I want so much that hasn't happened. We say, that's fine, then don't think about that. But don't I need to think about that in order to make it come? No. In fact, thinking about something that hasn't come keeps it from coming. Find satisfaction about other things. And as you maintain the satisfaction mode, the receiving mode, then impulses about that and other things will come to you. You could have 10 major things of interest and importance going on in your life. You've heard this from us before, we know. And one of them could be really not working at all. And 9 of them could be really working well. And you could focus upon the one that isn't working and use that as your reason for dissatisfaction and block your impulses relative to all the things that have been going well. Or you could do it the other way around. You could have only one thing going well and all the others not, and you could find the satisfaction in the one thing that is going well, so that you're using that as your reason for satisfaction, and before you know it, you'd be so much in the receiving mode that every one of those other issues or experiences or situations would begin turning to impulses and experiences and thoughts that would be pleasing to you. You hear that? Satisfaction. You're always under the influence of something, but you want to tune yourself to be under the influence of who you really are, not of what you're moving from. Just stay there for just a minute and feel that, because if you are awake and your mind is active, law of attraction is responding to your thoughts. So you've got some mix of vibrations going on, which means your point of attraction is whatever it is. And so if you're focused upon the missing of something that you want, or the presence of something that you don't want, then that's in your mix. And if that's in your mix, then you're blocking what you do want in the same moment. Does that make sense to you? We want you to simplify it all for yourself. We want to ask you, do you accept that there is a vibrational reality that precedes the manifestation?
Yes.
And do you accept that you've been under the influence and you've projected it? In other words, if you've been under the influence of not believing in yourself, or being angry at the world, or angry at someone, then you've spread some red mist out there that you're going to keep running into. But you don't have to keep doing that. But you've also created this magnificent vortex that's queued up and ready for you to receive it. So if you can accept that you are more than this physical body, and that the more part of you is in on this with you, and is pure positive energy, and is attracting the cooperative components, and that you may be the last holdout of the cooperative components of your own creation, and that the better you feel and the more you intentionally feel satisfaction, don't just give lip service to it, don't just smile and pretend it, really reach for, why is this a satisfying moment? What is it about this moment that is satisfying? And when you begin to find deep satisfaction just in a quieted mind, that's when you'll really begin to feel the resonance of this vibration of well-being that is you. You can feel. Do you meditate? Do you know that feeling of sort of detachment, that once your mind is quieted and you have a sort of state of numbness? Esther can't tell her nose from her toe. It feels satisfying. Here it is, plainly and simply. If you are not deliberately tending to your vibrational relationship with your vortex and your inner being, if you're not deliberately allowing your vibration to rise so that you are in the vibrational vicinity of what your inner being is projecting, if you're not deliberately doing that, if you're just observing what's going on in life, you are not really garnering or gathering or gaining or accomplishing any true momentum. Because if you're just taking life as it comes to you, I like this, I don't like this, I like this, I don't like this, I like this, I don't like this made me feel good, this made me feel bad, you have no control. But when you decide that you're going to utilize your own emotional guidance system, and that you are going to reach across the board for more feelings of satisfaction, which means you'll find yourself reaching out for people who are more comfortable to be with. You'll find yourself reaching out for your own thoughts that are more comfortable. You'll find yourself knowing what television programs you want to watch and what ones never work out for you that way. You'll just become better at managing your vibrational gap. And the better you become at managing that, then the more time you'll spend in that receiving mode, until it will just begin to kick in. You'll just reach the place where you'll know what you are under the influence of.